Welcome to Florida Education News. My name is Dr. Tony Arza, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with an Osceola County School Board candidate, Natalie Guzman. It's a pleasure to sit down with you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
So look, it's election season in Florida, and we've been doing a lot of these because we want to make sure that voters have a chance to meet the candidates that are running for school board, right? And
Absolutely.
we saw that you had qualified in Osceola County, and we thought we'd invite you, and we want to thank you for joining us. The biggest thing we're interested in understanding is just, the basic question, which is, why are you running for school board? What is it that you hope to accomplish? So could you kind of share a little bit about you and what motivated you to run for school board?
Absolutely. So I have my business in Osceola County as of 11 years now, and more and more I am seeing young people indebted with IRS. So at the moment that my pastor actually presented the opportunity, he said, there's a position open at the board. Kind of nudged me. I sat down and I spoke with my family. My daughter had previously served on the student advisory board, and I spoke to them. They're like, yes, Mom, do it. I have more time on my hands. My daughter's now a freshman in college, and my son is walking into his senior year, and I said, I think now is the time. My health hadn't been the best in past years, and it is better now. My business is stable, and I just want to go ahead and pour back into the community. I was serving via my church, The Vine, at our homeless shelter, and it burned down. It hasn't been rebuilt, and I just want to pour back into the community.
Well, so it sounds like you have a giving heart because you had a history then working in the homeless shelter there?
Yes, I did.
And how do you think that perspective and your, I guess your faith, your closeness to your pastor and the community, how will that help you in your role as a school board member?
Ooh, it's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, my faith is everything. My faith, I've been 20 years with Crohn's disease. You don't get through that without faith. My God. I was on 19 pills a day with my daughter, pregnancy with my daughter. So faith is everything for me. It'll get me through any day.
And how do you think that'll help you on the board, bringing that perspective or that awareness? I mean, when you go through suffering like that, I think it makes you a lot closer to people who suffer. And if you look at polls in the state of Florida and this country, voters are suffering, they're struggling. Some of that struggle is financial. A lot of it is also healthcare. There are different things that are pressing against, the citizens of Florida, the people in the state. And, but it seems like you have a little bit of history. Could you kind of share, how do you think that will help you as a leader, what you've been through?
I think I'm a mother. I am community. I have hit rock bottom because of health. I've hit rock bottom financially. And that's why my pillar for the run is so strong on expanding financial literacy. And I think that I'm an example. I am a story of redemption from my high school days. I am Osceola County. I was a student here. So I think that I'm living and breathing example.
So, one of the big questions in education today is school choice.
Yes.
And right now in Florida, every parent has a right to send their child to the school of their choice, whether that's private, homeschool, micro school, traditional public school, public charter school. There's tons of choice.
Yes.
And there have been some board members in the state of Florida that have been really outspoken against that choice. They complain and they'll say that those scholarships are taking students away from traditional public schools. There are others that will say, we support a parent's right to choose, and there's been a monopoly in public education for so long that there hasn't been that flexibility for parents to choose. And I think one thing that every voter wants to know that's touching education and is interested in education wants to know, where do you stand, where do the candidates stand on school choice? Could you share a little bit of where you stand on school choice?
I think it's beautiful that parents have that opportunity, right? We're the land of the free, right? So when you are given that opportunity, the education is your child's most important thing, right? So you as a parent, you're able to say, okay, this is not working. Public schools are great. My kids were brought up in public schools, but that is not the case for everyone. It's not the choice for everyone that should be made. So I am glad that we have it available in our state.
The other big thing that people don't realize is that school board candidates and ultimately school board members oversee an extremely large budget. In Osceola County, it's over $1 billion that
Correct.
you will oversee. And a lot of families, like we said before, are struggling economically, financially, and one of the big things that they're concerned about is how are they going to put food on the table? And I think one of the biggest questions that people have for board members and any elected official, how are you going to make sure that taxpayer dollars are working for the people in Osceola County?
Well, it's something that that I deal with in my business, right? Budgets and it is something that I believe, and this is what I'm so excited about. What I think our community, people are not as aware of the budgets, are not aware that it's $1 billion, right? I believe that my perspective can bring something fresh, that efficiently and responsibly taxpayer dollars are put to use where they should be.
Is there anything else that you would want, voters in your community, residents in the state of Florida to know about why you're running for school board that we didn't talk about?
I was kicked out of Osceola County School, okay? I then had to, so I know the school system. I then went to alternative school here in Osceola County. And then, I was young. I moved out of my house, out of my parents' house, because I was 16 and I was grown. And I struggled. And I then was a mom, and I'm like, wait a minute, education is important. And these kids, I'm their example. And I said, I'm not going to give them an excuse to quit. And I went and I got my GED. And from that, then I went and I got my insurance license, and I've just been building, and I feel like I have a story of redemption. Actually, out canvassing, I met a gentleman. He was 17 years old, and it was my story. And he was telling me how he wanted to be like a gaming engineer, and you can do this, but he was expelled. And I said, you can still do this. You can turn your life around. There can be one mistake, but there is redemption for us. And I feel like I am the story of that, and I feel like I bring hope. I'm them. I'm the community. So
That's you.
that's me.
That's you.
That's
you.
me.
It's been a real pleasure to sit down and talk with you. It's been great to hear a little bit about your candidacy, and wish you the best of luck in your race, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.